Welcome, comic book collectors and enthusiasts. My name is Brandon, and you were watching Moncomics Big Five Live, a monthly series where I scour the YouTubes and I find fellow creators and collectors, and I bring them on to show off 5 books, whether it's their most recent pickups, whether it's their favorite books, or a combination of both, just to stoke that comic conversation. And this month, I pulled together some fun people that I've either been watching for a while or talked to for a while. And unfortunately, Comic Journey cannot be here tonight. He's attending to some family business. So we did have a fill-in. So let me bring him onto the stage before I say what's up to the chat. First one, my buddy, Unruly Simian, Lane. I started watching Lane on the first time I saw him was Only Slabs. And he has just a fantastic collection. And he's just always super chill guy. And then I started watching other unboxing videos with him, and we became friends on Instagram or following each other. And I found out he liked the early 2000s Daredevil like I did, and we started going off in the comments, and people were probably like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? But Lane, welcome to the show. My question for you, who's your favorite comic book character?
Oh, shit. It would probably be Jaquita Wagner from Planetary.
Ooh, and why do you pick that character?
Because Planetary is my favorite series. Art, story, it's just perfect, especially if you're a junkie of pop culture, the pulp magazines, comics, movies. And she's like the muscle of the group. And you get her origin story about halfway through the series, but other than that, you don't really know much about her. She just likes to jump in the shit. That's what she lives for, and I can get behind that.
Now, when did this book come out, Lane? Because now I want to look it up.
I want to say it was like 01. I'd have to look it up. It was either late 90s or early 2000s, but it had a very uneven publishing schedule. I mean, there'd be like months between issues, sometimes years. And I think it wrapped up with like 27 or 28 plus a couple of little mini series with other, like The Authority. There was a crossover and a few one shots.
Who was this published by?
It was Wildstorm Publishing, but then either that was a DC imprint or DC bought them out, one of the two.
Okay, so is that an indie company that DC possibly brought out or was an imprint of?
Yeah, one of the two. I'm not sure. But
interesting.
Dude, it's Warren Ellis writing and John Cassaday drawing. It's. I gave my old man the Omni for Christmas 2 years ago, and he loved it.
Oh my gosh! All right, something to check out. I love it when I hear. I was hoping when I asked this question to people, I would hear stuff that was, not the norm. Like, it wouldn't be surprised if it was something like Punisher or Daredevil, but like I love hearing stuff like that, and then finding out more about what a person's into and what they collect. So thank you for that. The next person coming to the stage, in lieu of Comic Journey, we got Ricky from All Sorts of Words. We hadn't hung out for a while, and I put it out. I put up the bat symbol, if you will, and said I need someone to fill in, and he jumped around it. So thanks, Ricky. Who's your favorite comic book character, Ricky?
Crypto the Superdog.
I should have known. You were ready for that. It's just because you're a major animal lover.
I mean, so okay, if you go on Netflix and you watch the Neil deGrasse Tyson, like he's in that spaceship and he's like traveling around Earth, and he's like through time, and he's just talking about humanity and evolution. The first episode, he talks about how human beings sat around a fire and we couldn't protect ourselves all the time because our senses sucked. And so these little mongrels came out of the darkness, and the deal was we give you a steady supply of food and we'll then protect you. So we provide them with steady, reliable food. And then they just watch the camp at night. So they would growl and they would use their senses and help us. So like literally human beings evolved alongside dogs. And so when I meet people who say like, oh, I'm not a dog person, I'm like, no, you're not a dog person, but you're a dog person. Like it's literally, it's baked into your DNA. So like you get a release of serotonin if you pet a dog for 30 seconds and it just happens. Like, I don't care if you're a dog person, relax and pet a dog and you'll get that same release of dopamine that happens when a mother is breastfeeding. I bet you did not come here for this, comic book people, but I fucking love dogs. I love them so much. And Crypto, he doesn't have a firm design, so they're constantly like showing him as different breeds. So like Crypto is your dog.
I love that. That I should have known right away. But thank you, Ricky. I appreciate your presence. Next up is a person that's been on one of my streams already. She's a wonderful K-pop junkie, Katie.
Hello.
Hi, Katie. Katie came on my Crow stream with Ricky as well. We had a blast. And Katie is a fantastic host and interviewer. She hosts Kicking It with K-pop. And what I love about your show, Katie, is you highlight all sorts of creators, artists, writers. You know, you might have heard of them, you might have not. How long have you been doing that series, and how long have you been YouTubing, Katie?
A year.
A year, okay.
But I've been live streaming for 15 years.
Right, because you're also on Twitch, right?
Yes. I was on other channels as well, but yeah, YouTube a year. Yeah.
Nice. Which do you still like simulcast on Twitch and YouTube when you're streaming?
Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Yes.
Dang. Where did you find the best engagement? Was it like YouTube, or was it Twitch or Twitter? Like, where do you think it's the best?
It depends, because when I was doing my own art streams on Twitch, they were late nights. So they would go to like 8 a.m. So that would have a totally different crew. But I get a lot right now on Twitter, which is amazing as well. But you can't really interact with the chat on Twitter because their thing is kind of fairly new. I don't know if you need a blue check mark or whatever with that, but get a lot of people watching your content, which is cool.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. Your favorite comic book character?
Okay. Male character is Lobo. Female is Catwoman.
Oh, all right. Lobo and Catwoman, huh?
Yeah.
You would get along with our buddy JP, who is an avid Lobo fan. But thanks for coming on, Katie. Really appreciate you coming on and representing. The last person we have up, where are we? Let me enter the stage. I have Eric from SideQuest Comics. Eric reached out to me. How many months ago was that now, Eric?
It's been 7 months. October.
Goes quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, it goes really
Eric
quick.
Reached out. He's like, hey, I think I want to start a YouTube channel. This is my angle. I was like, dude, do it by all means. It's so much fun, and it's a great hobby, and you meet so many people. And although we can't watch all the content of each other, we'd love to. The support and love is still there. Like, it's inhumanly possible for us to just take it all in. But I'm really proud of you, dude. Like, you were natural. As soon as I saw you on camera and talking, I was like, oh, he's got it. He's gonna have fun with it. And
I think my hesitation is nobody's gonna want to listen to me ramble.
3 people. If I said 3 people watch me, I'd be freaking, pumped. Yeah. And then since my channel was like buying online, if I could get someone to buy from someone I suggest and it's a positive experience, then the circle would be complete.
Yeah.
So I'm quitting YouTube tomorrow. That was it, folks. That was a good run when I had it. No, but seriously, thanks, Eric, for coming on. What's sweet about Eric, his wife reached out to me 2 months before Christmas, and she's like, I really want to give Eric a great present. He's into Jack Kirby. And I was like, and then I reached out to a bunch of other YouTubers who have comic books for sale and was able to procure him a beautiful, New Gods #1 9.0. That freaking cover is awesome. So you got a sweet wife. I hope you're messaging mine and telling her I like comics and not new duvet covers.
And somehow I convinced her to like do 2 videos with me on the channel, which was a surprise, but it was a lot of fun doing that.
I saw that. I like that a lot, dude. Anytime you connect with your partner on that level. My wife will watch movies with me, Marvel movies and stuff, or DC, but as soon as I start going deep on the comics, she's like, whoa. You lost me like 3 steps. But anyways, thank you so much, everyone, for coming to hang out. I really appreciate y'all. Time is the most important commodity we have. So for you guys to come spend an hour on the show, I really appreciate it. Let me just say hi to the chat quick. Brian, the Godfather, sweetheart. Brian is actually going to be publishing a comic book. Yes. It's going to be going, is it going through Kickstarter? Is that what it's doing? Is Kickstarting it? Yep. So definitely check out Brian's Instagram page, his YouTube channel, so you can get all that info, because he's taking the jump to something a lot of us would love to do, I think, obviously. Next up, we got Mr. Akins of What's on the comic rack? The sweetest man from Alabama I know, who's just started being able to repost again. Doug Botkins, what's up, buddy? Doug, another friend of mine for a while, great guy. Steve Driscoll, Steve, what is going on, comic friend? How are you? Up North Comics, Bruce, I can't show. Hello, sexy people. Well, thank you. We all needed a pick me up. Next Gen Collector, pizza time. I would love some pizza right now. This gentleman, Yusa from Finland. What's up, buddy? How are you? So I don't know what time it is in Finland, but probably early. Lettuce Comics. Lettuce is a relatively new YouTuber. His second freaking video he just put out cracked me up with his opening. It was like a Jurassic Park one, and it was just, he's got a good sense of humor. Pocket Full of Comics. This fine gentleman has a YouTube station where he is highlighting some of what will be his, to my understanding, or already is his. His grandfather had a collection of about 700 Golden Age books, and they are some beautiful ones to look at. So he's taken a deep dive. Richard Westfall, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the chat. Troy, what's going on, dude? I'm talking to you and Next Gen about coming on next month. I hope you guys will be able to. Durs, what's going on? Much love to you, dude. Thanks for dropping by. And
Monday lineup.
Yeah, right. We're getting everyone dropping in from the Monday lineup. I think that's all. Oh, what's up, Steven Collecto 6?
Hi,
Steppo is one of the most knowledgeable people in our hobby you can meet. And that is priceless to me. Oh, Wes, what's going on? Wes is from the Codex Comic channel. They are a group of creators that really know their comics too, and it's fun. Pre-code thing. You want to see some pre-code horror or pre-code books in general, go to his Instagram page. It is absolutely wonderful. Thanks for stopping by, Pre-code. Appreciate you, man. Shop. The Shopverse. If you're not aware, Shop will randomly take you and input you as one of your favorite characters, and it's he does a great job, great work with his artwork. I think that W Vogs 18. What is going on? Thanks for popping by. I believe he was just on Durz's stream.
He's on every stream.
Some people just got the time. Colossus Collector giving Bruce shit. And
giving everybody shit in chat. Let's go. That's what I like to see.
That is it. All right. So everyone, welcome again to the Moncomics Big Five Live. How this works is I'm just going to go around the horn and let everyone show 5 books that really do it for them, that blow their hair back.
Real quick, you never told us your favorite comic book character.
No.
I knew you were going to do that. It is Man-Thing, for sure.
Man-Thing. Nice.
I just love Ted Salas. He's just such a lonely dude and completely driven by emotion. You know, it's just his tragic, how he was created by having to hide the serum, and he just gets flashbacks of his life. He doesn't remember anything, but just total emotional animal. But if you mess with him, it's over. You're done. So I guess that's kind of like me. So thanks, Ricky. Pulling me out, keep me honest on that one. We're going to start with Lane. Lane, I'm going to make you big. What'd you bring for us tonight, dude?
I was explaining to you backstage, I work on the road, so the only comics I've got up here with me are ones I've got listed on eBay, because I only get home like once every month, once every 6 weeks, so I want them here in case I got to sell them. But I've got a few decent ones.
That's a responsible eBayer, chat. You hear that? He's got them with them in case he sells and just ship from the road. Take notes. What do you got?
No excuses.
Yeah.
All right. This is World Tree #1. This is the Zoo or Zoo 1 in 50.
Oh, I love Zoo.
I love Zoo. Oh my God, she's
super nice too.
I don't know if I could handle meeting her. I buy almost every cover she puts out. I've got this raw, and I won't sell the raw.
So is World Tree, is that a good read? Would you guys recommend that as a read?
Oh yeah, it's Tiny Onion, of course. Has he written anything that was mediocre or bad?
Now you got to remember, I'm just coming more into modern comics, Lane. Like I'm a huge silver and old school collector, but I just was telling Ricky, I just found in my local library Something Is Killing the Children, volumes 1 through 6. I can't put it freaking down. So now I'm writing these down, like World Tree. I not only I'm a cover buyer, but I love to read good stories too. And if there's modern books out there I can get, that's awesome.
Oh, listen, man, just from the sheer, I'm 60 years old. And I know a lot of dudes in this hobby that are my age or just a little younger. And it seems like a too high a percentage of them are, oh, I don't read anything past the Bronze Age. Fucking idiots. There's so much good shit being put out right now. Right now, today, there's too many good comics being put out to keep up with them. With all of them.
I like it.
All right, are we going to do all 5 at once?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so this is Black Cross #1. It's the very first comic Dark Horse ever published.
Yes.
And it's the first appearance of Concrete, which if you'd asked me that question tomorrow, I might have told you Concrete was my favorite character of all time.
Ooh.
There's Concrete. It was such a great series. But at any rate, I upgraded to a 9.8, so that's why this one's on the chopping block.
I thought that was the first Concrete, and I'm only familiar with Concrete because I took a class in college. I've talked about it before. Comic books is literature, and the reading material, one of them was Concrete, along with like The Killing Joke, V for Vendetta, Hellboy. It was like the guy was a freaking genius professor, obviously, but yeah, Concrete was a cool character, and I thought that was the first appearance.
Wow, man, I didn't have any comic classes when I was in school.
No,
you can cool.
You can teach Nintendo now if you can bullshit.
All right, but see now my thing is, and that New Gods that he got for Christmas. When I first started reading comics in the early 70s, it was right when Kirby went to DC, and all those Fourth World characters and the Demon and Kamandi.
Oh yeah.
That's what made me fall in love with comics.
I love it.
Ooh, all right, but this is another 80s indie, Timothy Truman, Scout. And this, the first year or so, the first 8, 9, 10 issues were just brilliant. It bogged down a little after that. But I love Truman's pencils. This was a great story. Eclipse Comics, the 80s boom. And again, I've snagged a 9.8 of this.
Can you pick that up a little more? Yeah, there's an owl on that. God, my wife's an owl lover. That's pretty badass.
Well, this is it's set in like a dystopian future, like what comic isn't? And he's an Indian or an American, Native American. And so there's a lot of that mythology and symbolism, and there's a lot of supernatural aspects to this comic.
I like it. Katie, which do you know which creator did we just lose that was Native American?
There were a couple that just like actors and stuff, but do you mean actual like artists?
Comic book artist. God, I forgot his name.
Oh.
Varga. No, it starts with a V. He did awesome.
I don't know.
He was known for comic covers that were like Native American influenced so like Spider-Man, Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, he did a bunch of variants like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes, yeah.
And it does start with a V, and I'll be damned if I remember his name.
It was wonderful. I just discovered him, and it was
Viggo, Viggo, something like that.
There's 2 G's in it too. I think you're onto something. Jeffrey, maybe. I don't know, but I love it when people put their culture into books like that, whether it's in the stories or the artwork.
All right, my 4th book.
Oh,
nice.
Is Namor 2. And this was a series I collected as a kid. So I wanted to have all the 12-cent issues. I've got them all graded, and I upgraded this one again.
9.0. What's the year on that?
68.
Jesus. That's an awesome cover.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Big John.
No. He could really draw the human form.
Was it Jeffrey Vergrigi?
That's it.
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Wow,
he was young.
To pronounce it either.
He was young. He left behind, unfortunately, kids. So he was just, like I said, I was watching someone. Oh, it was Comic Book Canon was talking about his Werewolf by Night variant cover, and it was freaking awesome. So yeah, that was my tie into the Native American thing.
And for my last book It's a golden age right before the code kicked in.
Yar.
EC Piracy #1.
Wow.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the Goonies.
I love yes. Errol Flynn stuff. Goonies.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's like the Inferno over there. That's just fantastic.
Awesome. Love that pirate.
What
ship.
year is that?
54.
Man.
And
I
again,
love how they're here. Hold up the bottom again. I love how they're fighting guys that operate gondolas.
Yeah.
We want our pay.
Or
Then different-
hamburglers.
Different guys. Yeah. Hamburgers. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's an Italian Navy ship.
Rubble on the high seas.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's a great book. Wow, Lane. Even though you're selling those, this is bad. This is bad news for me. Show me a golden age book with pirates. After the show, I'll be on the backstage being like, "Okay, what's your PayPal?" Those are great books, man. Even though you're kind of you're nomadic right now, you still represented. Those are awesome. Collecto likes that.
Of course he does.
The 68 books were very well written and drawn. Yep.
And it introduced Tiger Shark, who has, I will brook no argument, the coolest costume of any villain in Marvel history. That's it.
You love the Tiger Shark. I figured that. Those were awesome books. Okay, we're about to see now. I was particularly excited not only when a friend like Ricky will jump on and agree to fill in quick and save my ass, but Ricky's been working on a run lately, which I'm gonna dig, and I think you guys are gonna dig. So Ricky,
Man. All right, so this coming Friday on my own channel, I'm releasing a video called "Everything Comic Book Collectors Need to Know About the Addams Family," because I tumbled down a rabbit hole. When I was a little kid, horror movies scared the bejesus out of me. I did not get into horror until it was much later. In fact, my brother used to take a couch cushion and put it on my lap and sit on me and make me watch wrestling promos because I thought they were actually threatening me. I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna take the title from you. I'm like, I don't have it. It was horror movies they freaked me out. But the Addams Family television show was amazing, and like my little kid brain zeroed in on it. And then the movie came out in '91, and I was 6, and my mom took me because my mom rocks. And it opened up me being okay and into horror for the rest of my life. My family was always into it, so they were thrilled. But like Addams Family eased me into like a whole part of myself. And I was like, I'm going to look up their comic books. And I looked it up, and it said first appearance in comics. That's what Key Collector said on their first issue, that pink cover, 1964. And I'm like, I'm sorry, 1974. And I'm like, no way. Like, where was their first appearance? Maybe it was the TV show. No, they appeared in a cultural magazine that you might have heard of called The New Yorker. This is just a cultural magazine. It's a magazine about like movies, and there were movies back in the 30s and 40s, and plays, and they have whole spreads about all the actors that are going to be in the like 30s and 40s Thanksgiving Day parades. Like they covered the Macy's Day Parade, just really cool stuff. But that's where the Addams Family first appeared back in 1938, and it was the first appearance of Morticia. I'm telling you about that, not showing you because I don't have that. However, I have every other Addams Family appearance from the 30s and 40s, and then all the way up to the last Addams Family member in the family that shows up in the timeline, 1964. That was a lot, right?
Show us. Prove it.
Here it comes. This is November 25th, 1939. This is the second appearance of Morticia and the first appearance of our main man, Lurch.
That is excellent. The old
Lovely.
Charles Adams, right? Wasn't that his name?
Okay. Here's the deal. I've been doing tons of research because a lot of these questions that I've been asking, like literally, I don't have any answer for. So I've been doing a lot of digging and like pulling together resources to create one big video. Comes out Friday. Subscribe. But he signed his name like 80% of the time Chaz Adams, and as a consummate Ricky, not Richard, not Rich, sometimes a dick. I sympathize with a guy who like everyone calls Charles Adams, but like he went by Chaz. So I'm trying to get that out in the zeitgeist. Chaz Adams. But yes, and so the gag is, oh, it's you. For a moment, you gave me quite a start, as if to imply that like this giant monster doesn't scare her. So it's like her butler. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's Lurch's first appearance. I also love the
You're
Adams family growing up. So this is awesome to see.
Okay, so we're going in order of Adams family appearances that I have. We will skip one. This is November 14th, 1942. This is another cover by Chaz Adams, and this is like a plate during World War II, showing World War II, and like just like a Japanese kind of imperial plate with his depiction of the war, which was ongoing. It's really weird to read stuff that is talking about Hitler in the present tense and alive. He's only ever been dead my whole life, so everybody talks about him in the past tense. But reading articles where they're like, "Man, this guy's a dick," like it's fascinating. 42. This is the first appearance of Gomez.
There he is.
Gomez and Morticia. So they had the lady, gave her a husband. And what's interesting, I've got a fact about each of them. What's interesting about this is the line is, I'm trying not to look so I can see if I remember. Are you unhappy, darling? Oh, yes. Yes, completely. It's adorable. However, the Addams Family movies, I did a rewatch for, tune in on Friday. And I noticed that the Addams Family movies from 91 and 93, Addams Family and Addams Family Values, are packed with more references to the source material, these cartoons, than any superhero movie I've ever seen. There's so many references. And if you go to YouTube, when you're done here, of course, and you watch the first scene of Gomez talking to Morticia in the movie, he's doing that thing where she's asleep and he's talking to her and he says, like, I would kill for this woman. I would die for this woman. And she wakes up and the first thing he says to her is, are you unhappy, darling? And she goes, oh, yes. Yes, completely. It's the first thing.
I did not know they were linked that well. That's
great.
Dude,
it's wild. Okay. June 19th, 1943. Here's a fun cover. The guy's just painting the lines and these chicks are just killing it. Okay, so one side note thing. These covers were all original art, original to the New Yorker. So back in 1943, when y'all didn't have the internet, you would only see this image if you had this here. So people became fans of the individual artists that got covers. People became fans of like just a beautiful piece of art. So New Yorker actually put flipping lines on the side to tell you where to cut so that you could cut it off and hang it in your house. So many of these issues got absolutely annihilated, in addition to the fact that they're cultural magazines. They were like the Entertainment Weekly of the 1940s. So like people threw them out, and then people would also be encouraged to destroy the covers. So like, good Lord. But this is, June 19th, 1943. This is a wood shop class. There's no lines. And if you look in the back row, you're going to see one kid building a coffin. And that's our little Pugsley Adams.
He was talented.
Ricky, Richard asked, would you want more movies made of the Addams Family?
Oh my God. So long as they, I mean, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I loved Wednesday, like the show Wednesday.
Oh, yes.
And that's getting another season. So like the Addams Family, y'all, nowadays, everybody's trying to talk like they've got something to say. Nothing comes out when they move their lips. It's just a bunch of gibberish, but fuck that, because they forgot about the Addams Family.
Amen.
The animated movies were fun.
Yes, they're cute. I love the animated.
They're adorable. Okay, August 26, 1944. I have to feature this cover because it's actually called Hide the Booze, the Kids Are Home. And the kids are coming home and the cigarette's still lit and shit.
Oh my God. What simpler times.
Amazing.
This one, and you see this a lot. These covers are high inked covers. There's a lot of ink in these covers, and so they snap off really easily. But so like you get over it really quickly. I know like comic people are like, no, it's gotta be perfect and connected. Motherfucker, try to find and buy it. Like that's the thing. If you're hearing my voice right now, if you're watching this right now, this is the only one I don't have a sticky note in. It's quite frankly too late to find these books. They're literally gone. There was me, there was one other collector, and we worked in cahoots, and we each got copies of the books, and they're gone. Okay, here is this one, 1944. Well, don't come whining to me. Tell him you'll poison him right back. That's little Wednesday Addams.
Dude, I love how much space they're giving these cartoons.
I know.
All full page or that one half page. That's awesome.
And there's Pugsley being a shit eater in the background. Okay, and then 2 more. And the final one, Mon, is a choice I'm going to give you. This is June 26th, 1954. Oh, shit. No, that's not the one. I showed that one. How many have I shown? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Last one, Mon. It's now. Now's the last one. Would you rather have me show another Addams Family first appearance or my single favorite image of the Addams Family that's ever been made?
Your favorite.
Your favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. June 26, 1954. If I was ever going to get anything Addams Family related tattooed on my body, it would be this. And this is exciting because Brandon's a big old softie. There's no words.
Oh, yes.
She's got this big smile on her face, and he's smiling too. And you know, it's a swing set, but it's so witchy. Isn't that beautiful?
I love it.
Oh my God! As a dad, as a daughter dad, that hits right me in the feels. So.
Oh, it's beautiful. And then, okay, so the fun fact about that book is if you watch the second movie, Addams Family Values, in the very beginning of the movie, Fester's howling at the moon because he's effectively in heat. Gross. And then they do the title card after they say, like, oh, we got to get him a woman. And the next scene in the movie is a establishing wide shot of the manor and the properties on it. And in the foreground, you can see the silhouette. There's a tree, and there's her swing. I'm telling you, man, every single scene of that movie was packed with references from this stuff.
So now I have to go back through and watch the movies. I mean, just for that scene alone. But it's probably more fun for someone like you who has the knowledge now of exactly what they were taking from, the comic, or the New Yorker, the comic strip in the New Yorker, and putting it into the movie. That's got to be wild. I applaud you, man. That's such a niche genre of collector, but I think everyone loves, growing up, I was watching reruns of the Addams Family and the Munsters, and they both did it for me as a kid, like they made scary not scary. So well done. I can't wait to see that video Friday on All Sorts of Words. I think I contributed a little bit to it, didn't I?
You did. You are in it. Yeah.
All right. Because fun fact, the college I work at, Chaz Adams went to.
Cool.
So yeah, watch Ricky's video Friday. That's gonna be awesome. Katie, what do you got for us, hon?
I grabbed some random stuff about 5 minutes ago. So
love it.
Like con recently. I picked this up. I got to meet Bill Mosley as well, and I never knew he did a comic. So as you can see, I'm a huge horror buff.
Oh, yeah.
And he has a comic book that he wrote himself.
Cursed Cornfield. I dig that cover.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. It's done by the art by Sizemon. I forgot how to pronounce his name. Fedransky. He did a bunch of Batman stuff back in the day.
Holy cow!
But, oh, dude, it's gnarly. It's very cool. Yeah, I like it. Gnarly stuff happening.
That's a really cool.
Yeah,
was he cool? Was Mosley awesome or what?
Oh, he was awesome. I took a picture with him. He's great. He was super nice.
Yeah, I was following your con experience vicariously. I was like, damn it.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
And which con was that, Katie?
Astronomicon. I met a bunch of dudes. I also met, because half the cast there was there from Tusk's Chase Hunt too. So I got to also meet Bob Elmore, and I danced with Kane Hodder.
That's awesome.
Good times. So this is 3 for 1 because it's a series. Rounding up our last show that we did, but we got the Crowley City of Angels 1 through 3.
Oh, signed too by O'Barr.
Yeah, all signed by James. Yeah.
I want to rewatch that one because
that's pretty good.
When I watched it, like I watched the first one as a kid, and I watched that one, and I think the first one spoiled me so much that I didn't get to enjoy it. Yeah. But now going back and seeing it as a dad, like it being focused upon him losing his kid, I think I'll appreciate it more.
It's so good. Like I really like that it kind of follows some of the characters from the first one. So we could do that. We could do a watch and then go do a review on it again.
Yeah. How about them pushing the movie out till August?
Oh, I did not hear about that. I've been
Yeah,
busy. So
they pushed it to August for some reason. I think because of what they're competing with.
review with what? What? Oh, dude, you're gonna have fun. Like I walked up to him and he was like, "She needs to hear this song." And I was like, "What?" And like his handler was like, "What?" So he called this other guy. I was like, "Play that jam." It was like this weird like 80s disco pop thing. He just started like grooving in the middle of nowhere. I was like, "Oh my god, you're amazing."
All right, that's an awesome experience.
It was so much fun. Okay, so another book has one of my favorite characters in it. I kind of lost one of my books. I was really big into Batman Nightfall back in the day, but also because Catwoman. So
yeah.
Just showing off this cover here because I also love the way that Kelly Jones did Batman. Got pointy ears Batman.
That's a sick cover. Bane stretching the
super
cape.
Good. He's so honking humongous. Yeah.
I like that Catwoman too.
Yeah. The Jim Ballant Catwoman is my favorite, but obviously he just based it off of her because she was the series at the time that was out. But yeah, so there's that one. Sick. So I kind of just grabbed all these off my shelf. So
I love it.
3. All right, I'll do another 2-parter. Since we're rounding up all my favorite characters. Well, I guess they could be part of that Catwoman pile, but there's that.
Excellent book.
Yeah.
Oh,
thank you. That would be part of my 3. So that's 3. But this is gonna be 4 because I can't do one without the other. So
yeah.
There's my guy.
If JP, if you catch the rewatch, that's huge.
Big old Bisley on his forehead, and then this one signed by Mike down there. Yeah.
All right. If you could have anyone play Lobo, who would you pick, Katie?
Jason Momoa.
You would? You okay with that?
That's my guy. That's my guy. That's who I want. That's what we're going with. Okay.
I don't know the character enough, but I would be, I'm untainted. I would love to see him play him. I think that'd be cool.
I think he looks like amazing. Him. I've been vowing for that for a long time, and I have a whole bunch of Lobo art smack dab in front of me. What did I just show? How many did I just show? I don't know. Whatever. This is my last one. But I am huge into the Max and Brett and Sam Keith. So.
Look at the Max sitting there next to Batman. What does the word bubble say? What's the Max saying to Batman? Is Sam done with issues 4 and 5 yet? Who knows?
No. But look at him out there. Just all like
that's
I love Sam Keith. Pauly Shore to play Lobo. You know what, Joe? I would watch that. I love me some Pauly Shore.
So do I. He was done dirty and back in the day.
Danny Trejo as Lobo, dude. I can see that as well, man. That'd be kind of cool.
Katie, wonderful picks.
Thank you.
I ended up writing. It reminded me that I need to get that, like the Crow City of Angels. Eric, you ready, bud?
I'm ready. I had to pull some books out of my pile because I always get excited and say, "Oh, let's look at this one. Let's look at this one."
Took me all day.
But I managed to break it down to 5, and I'll explain why I picked some of these books. So the first one I'm going to start with is, I think it's my first comic I've ever gotten. It was a gift from my dad, and it's something that he bought off the rack in 1970. But it's this issue, X-Men number 65. And I think this is the book that's responsible for me being an X-Men fan. He gave me this book when I was really young, along with some other ones like Spider-Man, some surfers and stuff. But this one always stuck with me. I mean, I still have it in the original cardboard nasty tape from probably the 80s. I think.
Eric, what was it about that book? Was it the story? Was it the cover? Because I'm not an X-Men fan, but that cover is speaking to me.
Yeah, the cover's cool. I mean, this is Neil Adams artwork, so I think that's part of it. The characters, I think, is what it was. I was fascinated with, I knew at that time who Spider-Man was and Hulk. They were mainstream, but I didn't know who these guys were back then. So they fascinated me. And one of the things that always draws me to comics is it's the art. It's always the art first. It could have a shit story, but if the art is sold to me, I'll probably enjoy it, because that's just how I entertained myself as a kid. Is I would just sit and look at the art and study the line work and how they put together a page and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my first one right there.
I love it. I love that. Anything with a monster on it, I'm sold.
And then, so my next one here is one that I found recently. It's a recent find that I didn't know existed. So when I saw it, I was like, I got to get this. Digging at one of my haunts, I found this. And it's called Madness in Murder World. And it was a promotional thing that Marvel did with Paragon Software.
Yep.
I don't even remember that software company. This came out in '89. So it was kind of right when like the computer games were booming, and they were trying to tap into mainstream media, like with the comics and movies and stuff like that. So, but the interesting thing with this is I didn't realize until I actually opened it up and started looking, this is early Mark Bagley artwork in here. So, he's mostly known for Spider-Man. So to see early work by him is kind of cool. It's like you see those hints of, I recognize some of that artwork, the way he would draw profiles and stuff like that. So, I like I said, I never saw this. So it was a reason I was like, instant. I'll probably never see it again type of thing. But
that is sick. I've seen that only one other time. I think Mike from Lunch Money has a copy.
Yeah, Mike's always good for finding those books. That's like, I need that.
Right.
All right, so you're gonna like this one, Brandon. I know when I first started the channel, I might have taken it out. I put this in the little description because me and my wife are nuts for this. I don't know if you want to call it a subculture of people that are interested in this, but all I can say is I believe. But if it's got Bigfoot on the cover, I'm gonna buy it. I don't care what it is, but I'm gonna buy it.
Excellent.
This is Journey of Mystery number 1374. This is actually a reprint of what is it? Strange Tales annual. So I mean, I love this artwork. Bigfoot. I mean, I have a pile of them. Where did I put them? Yeah, like I said, if it has Bigfoot on it, I'm gonna buy it. Godzilla.
I lived in Southeast Alaska for 2 years, and it wasn't even his Bigfoot real. It's like he was just accepted as out there.
Yeah.
Because so many people would see him.
So I am always on the hunt for Bigfoot covers, especially when they put Bigfoot, like that one I showed real quick with Conan fighting Bigfoot. Oh, I'm all over it.
Those comics, yep.
And just the artwork, it's kind of some of that artwork from, like, I've been getting a lot more into the 70s comics, and I think it's the artwork. I appreciate it more now as I'm older than when I was in my heyday of collecting in the 80s. Because back then we were all McFarlane, Jim Lee, ooh ah type of thing. I didn't really look at those guys in the 70s.
No, for sure, man.
All right, number 4. Speaking of some of the 70s horror, I have Dracula Lives #1.
Oh,
so badass!
Awesome.
Let's go.
Jazzed to find this. I loved Boris Vallejo back in the day, and this artwork is just phenomenal. And the inside interior art is pretty cool too. But I have kind of an alternative for getting this. It's a birthday book, so this came out on my birth month. I just started a thing where I'm chasing down books that came out that month, and this was one of them.
That's a fun side quest for sure.
Yeah. I think once I get enough of them, I'm going to make a video. I got a good chunk of them. I'm just trying to find some more mainstream ones. I did just find a Hulk one where Hulk is fighting Tiger Shark, I think it is, at Niagara Falls. I'm like, I had to get it. It's such a weird concept.
Weird books are the best.
Yeah,
dude. Why did that come out before Vampirilla 1? Or because
this was 73, so I think it's just after Vampire. It's at the same time that Stan Lee wanted to do these magazines because they were outside of the
Savage Tales 1.
Yeah, they're outside of that code, so they kind of could be a little more risque and and stuff like that. So I found a loophole.
I need more. Yeah, like I have Savage Tales 1 because of Man Thing, obviously, but I need more books like that are the loophole around the code. For sure.
I found a local seller that just does it for fun, so he's not like hardcore. And he got a bunch of these from a guy that used to own a store. So he got them, nobody bought them, and they got like shuffled and filed away and just lost the time. So these things are like so minty.
It looks like it came off the rack.
Yeah, I mean it's so nice.
Painted covers in full-on painted books are some of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean those are artists you don't see anymore doing comic books. A little bit, like we got like Alex Ross and some of the guys that went out into the professional art field and then came back to comics. So
yeah.
All right, last one. Are you sitting down, Brandon? We already mentioned it. I had to get it.
Yes.
I blame
Let's
you.
Go.
I mean, the fact that when I saw this, I was like, holy shit, this guy's got this in the raw too. I couldn't resist it. And actually, at the time I saw it, I was already buying a bunch of books. I bought, it was Savage Sword Conan #1, which is actually, it's behind me. I bought those 2 books the first time I found this guy. So I was like, I don't have that much money. So I was hoping the next time I saw him, he still had this, and he did. And yeah, I got a really good deal on it. So
nice.
It's nice. I mean, the covers, it's wavy. I'm going to try and get it pressed, but the inside of it is so nice.
Which platform did you find that on?
I found this local.
Okay.
The same guy that had all these magazines had this.
And what does the code box say in that one? That's how they kind of subverted it too.
This publication is rated M for mature reader.
All right, now we're talking.
Okay, so if you're going to have a book, especially my favorite character, where he does not appear on the cover, but you're going to put that Buscema decapitation cover on it, okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I love Buscema and Conan. That's kind of one of my favorites.
It's the fantasy. He's got a head, the girl around his leg, the other creature in the background.
It's got babes. It's got murder. It's got severed heads. It's got abs. What else do you want? Swords.
Congratulations, my friend.
Yeah.
I think I have that video queued up because I just try to queue everyone's videos up. But that is a freaking great book. Wow, Ricky, welcome back. Ricky was having internet issues. Come on, Ricky.
My internet shut all the way off.
Wow. I was afraid I was going to lose power tonight. It's storming like crazy in upstate New York. We got high winds, and I live on a hill, and my power goes out at the blink of an eye. So I'm just like, oh, God, I hope it doesn't happen. Yeah. Well done, Eric.
Thank you.
I like the books you chose to show. I'm going to try to now follow you guys up. So I kind of went with a history theme this week. These are all recent pickups.
History. Ooh.
History, if you will, Katie. The first book is a title I don't collect, but because history, Wonder Woman 196. And I own Wonder Woman 199 as well, which is a bondage cover. To me, this is important because in 1970, Marvel wanted to publish that Spider-Man story where Harry was addicted to pills, and the comic code said absolutely not. So they didn't put the comic code authority on it, and the issue ended up getting widespread acclaim from teachers and parents for about facing the drugs and the perils. So DC then puts out the iconic Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Speedy doing heroin cover. And they actually stamped the code of approval on that. And it was at that point in the 70s, and this is from 71, that the comic code starts to loosen up. And books like this, whether they're horror or, sexual or bondage covers like this, are starting to be released with the code on it. So even though, I think Wonder Woman's a cool character, don't get me wrong, I thought, having a book that marks almost the end of the cultural era of the comic book code was cool, and it was done in Wonder Woman books. So there's this cover, and then I have the painted cover too. I'm just gonna pull it down. It's my show, right?
Show it.
Covers. So and then
that's a beautiful cover.
There we go.
Yeah, so they're both 71, I believe. Because 199, 196. But this painted cover You know,
good.
it's pre-code without pre-code. And then, you know,
Yeah.
this one I've been looking at for a while. And my good buddy JP from the Absolute Game of Nerds YouTube channel has been going through his buddy's antique shop and found this. And I
That's
was
so
like,
cool.
I gotta buy it from you, dude.
Yeah.
Just a really, I've been looking for it for a while.
My
So
only
that,
complaint on that red one is that the shadow makes absolutely no sense.
oh, for sure, absolutely. The composition is not. It's not. It's a Peter Pan shadow, Ricky. It's doing its own thing. The next book, The History of This, when the Comic Book Code Authority came out and essentially strangled a lot of the titles that Marvel was responsible for. The one thing that carried Marvel from that era to the superhero era in '61 with the Fantastic Four was pre-Silver or pre-Hero era monsters. So this is Journey into Mystery number 59. So this is pre-Thor. Great Jack Kirby cover. I unleashed Shag upon the world. They were just grasping at straws to try to get, you know, anything to keep people buying them and reading them. And it was a cool, I'm trying to get more of the stories that are reprinted in books like Monsters on the Prowl or Astonishing Tales reprint. No, what other books reprints? Oh, the Fear books.
Yeah,
a lot of the Fear run reprint stories like this. So I've started making a list, and I think next year I'm really going to try to target a lot of the pre-hero monsters that kept Marvel going. Plus the Journey into Mystery. This is 1960, so it still feels very golden age, you know. Even though it does have the code stamp on it. So yeah, I was able to pick this up at a local comic book shop actually last weekend.
Super cool.
My video's coming out next week on them. I'm actually going there for free comic book day because they're having Joe Jusko signing.
Shit.
Yeah, he's actually, I didn't realize he lives in Syracuse. I'm 40 minutes from Syracuse. He's a local. So he is coming to sign stuff at Funky Town Comics and Vinyl. Wicked cool store. Exactly what it sounds like. They have comics, they have vinyl, and they have action figures, and it is freaking awesome. Like, and if any of you guys walked in there, I know you'd dig it. And they also just put out a Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is my favorite Universal monster.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yes, special limited print comic Virgin variant that I'll be showing. I pre-ordered one of those.
Awesome.
So yeah, so pre-hero Marvel monsters is what I love. My third book, Forbidden Worlds 123. This is a title I pick up on the cheap because it's like 12 center for like, I got this one for $7. So this shows a time in our history that, you know, probably wouldn't, you know, be accepted today as far as like Native American artwork, you know. And I just loved cheap. If I can find cheap Silver Age for sub $10, and it's like a title that many people aren't buying, I love picking it up. So this is like a compilation of 4 different short stories they'll have in here. 129 is the first appearance of the Magic Man, I think, which is a fun character. So yeah, whenever I see Forbidden Worlds for cheap, I pick them up. And I'm sure it's going to be a really interesting story to read in that one. The fourth book, I mean, it's historic because it's Kirby and Lee, but it's a book I needed for my run. So Fantastic Four 64. Nice. I've always loved this country cover with the Century set. What's his name on it? It's a destroyer, right?
Yeah.
And this was $10 at the show. So I mean, yeah, it's not in great shape. Actually, the spine's not too bad for $10.
It doesn't look too bad.
It's yellowing or a little bit tanning. But when I go to shows, the few times I go to shows, I try to stay in my lane and get stuff that's like on my collecting goals, whether it's the Fear Run or Fantastic Four. So I kind of stepped outside of it with these other books that I got there, but for $10, I couldn't say no. So yeah, I had to go with that one. And then my final book is one that I got recently. I can't remember where I showed it on. I showed it on someone's channel. Maybe it was 22 Comics, Collecting Uncensored, which is a great new show that he just started doing. But I mean, it's history. It's Weird Science number 19 from the Golden Age. Amazing Wally Wood, who's probably my favorite Golden Age artist, cover art with that zombie astronaut. And I love Ray Bradbury as a sci-fi writer. He blew my mind as a kid. And I picked it up because it was denoted on the label, used in Seduction of the Innocent. So with all the books that they referenced when they were putting on the congressional hearings for the Comic Code, this was one of the books that they highlighted.
Cool.
So I knew I wanted something from, the Seduction of the Innocent catalog, and I wanted it in CGC, so it denoted it on the label. And I knew I either wanted horror or sci-fi because they're genres that I grew up loving as a kid. It's a 1.5. It looks pretty good, but it does have the spine of cover is completely split and reattached with tape, and the cover's detached. But it's from 1953, and I think a lot of us know with Golden Age books, it's very hard to find ones that are, if you're going higher grade, you're paying a lot of money for them, So I'm buying the book, not the grade.
Yeah.
I can read it online. I won't take it out of the slab. It's just, this has really become a piece of pop culture art.
The art still looks great.
Oh God, I know.
Yeah,
that's
purple.
That's why I bought it, Katie. I was like, the purple sticks out, and all the detail in the art. It's kind of like my Strange Tales '89 that I picked up. Like, it's beat to hell, but as long as the art, I can see the art and the art looks good. Yeah. It's just about owning that to me.
I'm not a stickler for super 9.8s. I really don't care. I read my crap. I destroy my stuff, but
for sure,
there's only a few things that I'd want slab because they're getting older now. But I like to handle all my comic books.
For sure. I've definitely been reading a lot more, particularly in trade paperbacks and stuff. But I will crack open some of the older ones from time to time to read. But yeah, I can't. Again, I got a mortgage, 2 kids to life. I can't go out and buy Golden Age books and like a 7.0. And I'm not that kind of baller. So yeah, those are some awesome books everyone showed, guys. Thank you very much for bringing them. I'm going to go around the horn and see what folks have coming up. Unruly, what is going on, man? What do you got coming up? Anything planned?
No, man. The only time I post YouTube videos is just to show off books. I might put out 2 or 3 videos a year.
Right, I know that. But are anyone show you're looking on coming on? Anything coming up?
I'll be on JP's Budget Collecting Wednesday. We're talking about Black Science.
Ooh, what is that exactly?
African American.
Well, you need to turn in and find out now.
Another book you need to write down and read.
Black Science?
Yep.
Like the guy who invented peanut butter?
Got it. Okay, so that's Wednesday at what time?
9:00 Eastern. Well, did you know that George Washington Carver found a way to make a record needle by compressing peanut shells?
And then his mom was like, either you get a real job or you start paying rent.
Freaking awesome. Katie, my dear, what do you got coming up? I know, tell the chat. I follow all your shit, but
Church of the Morning with on Bleecker Street Comics.
Yes, that's fun.
Let's see, we got a show tomorrow at 7. Oh, I have so many things going on. I think I have a Tuesday show. I have a Friday show. Free Comic Book Day is going to be awesome. I'll be at State of Comics with Jason Douglas doing some stuff there. And then the week after that, Comic-Con, Motor City Comic-Con. So I'll have all kinds of crap happening.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
You've got everyone in the chat, just go sub Katie and then hit notify on all her live stuff, and you won't be sorry because you'll learn a thing or two. Ricky, what do you got coming on, man?
Your boobs. No, I'm just kidding.
Mine?
Low-hanging fruit. So Friday, Monday, I have my next video. What is it? A comic book hot take so bad I put myself in the hospital because I'm sick, so I did it from bed. And then next Friday is the Addams Family one. What every comic collector needs to know about the Addams Family. But that's now I have the camera for 6 seconds. Bear with me. In 1958, Alvin and the Chipmunks was the first appearance of comic books. But this is not the first appearance of Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's not. It's a lie. 1958, a year before. This is the first record of Alvin and the Chipmunks that was ever pressed.
Oh, yes. Let's go. Let's go.
Is that the Christmas song?
No, it's not.
Can you sing us the song for us in the Chipmunk voice?
No. My voice is...
Can you attempt to sing a song?
So in 19 oh I know what I will. In 1958, before the album The Chipmunk Song, the song is called The Chipmunk Song. Before this came out, in the same year, was the Witch Doctor song, Ooh Ee Ooh Ah Ah, which
Ting
is
tang, la la bing bang.
super cultural appropriation and wicked offensive now that I think about it as an
Yes.
adult. It's like literally a song being like ching 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 chong. It's bad. It's not
right.
a good song.
Yeah.
But it came out in the same year, and it was a proof of concept. He used the sped up voice. And so he released the Chipmunks in 1958, and then the comic book was a year later in 59. You can buy that disc for like $4 on eBay, and you can own the first appearance of Alvin the Chipmunks.
Nice.
$4 on eBay.
If you literally go on the Wikipedia page,
$2
if you go
now
under the Chipmunk song, they give you the Liberty Records code. It's F-55168. You can look up the exact first pressing of Alvin and the Chipmunks, and it's like $4, and you can own a piece of history.
Amazing.
You
Gotta have that.
History. Eric, what do you got coming up, buddy?
Monday, I was on Absolute Game of Nerds with Rohan and JP. They're releasing that Monday. A little interview with that. But other than that, back to the grind of releasing videos. So I'll start doing some of my haul videos, my dollar dive-in videos. I'm trying to get my wife back on another Who's That video because we had a lot of fun with that. The stuff she comes up with, not having any knowledge of comic books.
That's great.
So fun. So fun what she comes up with.
That's fun.
But other than that, no cons. C2E2 was this weekend, but I decided to save money and not go and be good.
Yeah. There's a ton of people there right now.
Yeah, no, I get to go to Turfacon in fall with a bunch of.
I am trying to figure that one out, Brandon.
Trying
to figure that one out.
The last con I went to was New York Comic Con in 2014.
Wow, you're overdue.
You're overdue.
That lasted me 10 years though, because my wife and I walked around for three days in a row for 8 hours a day. And man, those cons will do it to you, dude.
Wow.
But it was an experience. All right. So what do I got coming up? I have my regular video coming out next week where I talk about Toy Fest, which was a semi-local show that I got to go to. A lot of toys, some comics, but I met some really cool cats there. Some gentleman from Rochester, New York, who owns a skate shop called Samurai Skates, and he had been trading skateboards to kids in their teens coming out of the Star Wars era. And he had the most crazy vintage Star Wars toys for sale, like Holy Grails I'd ever seen. Wow. So you can't even read Star Wars toys. At least you can read comics. So some really cool cats I met there. So that video is coming out next week. And then nothing really big except for the May Big Five Live. But I am going to go on in June. I forgot the day. I'll have to get it. In Between the Lines with Geek Out with Roscoe.
Oh, snap.
Cool.
Yeah, I was on 22's show and I opened my Hellboy book and I forgot that years ago to like relax, I would kind of draw. So I've been practicing and warming up my art skills again and just having a blast with it. So I am going to be doing some art with Roscoe. And I've just been drawing a lot more lately and it's been a lot of fun. And it's hard for me to make. Yes, I knew Katie like that. It's hard for me the Monday night lineup, as much as I love it, usually I have to catch it on the rewatch
so intense,
in my pocket because I'm up at 4 a.m. for work every day to go take care of a dorm. So staying up late is just it's not possible. So I just listen to a lot of people on the back end. But guys, everyone in the chat, please go sub these guys up. And, Unruly says he doesn't post a lot, but check out the shows he's going to be guest starring on because he's a great guy to listen to and hear talk about the history of comics. He knows his shit as well as the new stuff because I just wrote down some stuff. Please go follow Katie, Eric, and Ricky. I try to have people on here every month that I've, follow or see and found and thought I'd have a blast with it. So I'm grateful. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Really appreciate your time on a Saturday night. Thanks guys so much. And thanks to the chat so much for coming and hanging out. I am really bad at conducting chat. So many people are so good. You watch Scotty Vaughn, interact with the chat. The Kodak Station guys, they're really good at it. But thank you so much, chat. I appreciate you guys all so much. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And until next time, keep reading those comics.